So I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts of leasing a car versus buying a car? So the last car that I got for myself was about 3 years ago, and I decided to lease it because I just felt like, for some reason, I thought that if I leased it, the payment would be lower. And my payment is not really lower, I don't think. My payment's $610 a month. And I think that is kind of ridiculous for a car payment. But my lease comes up in October, and I'm probably just going to buy the lease out. So then that means that I can just take the balance of what I owe from the lease and turn it into a loan and then just pay that off that way. It usually benefits the person who is leasing the vehicle when this happens because if I turned the car in and then they were to resell the car, they would inflate the price up, but I would just have to pay the balance owed after I made all my lease payments. So it's kind of, I guess it's kind of a deal in a way. But I don't know. I hear all the time that people, especially people when you're talking about budgeting your money, and a lot of people say that a high car payment really is a waste of money. So I'm kind of looking forward to October to see what my options are about turning in my car, and I want to see what the payments are going to be when I buy the lease out. The nice thing that convinced me to lease the car were if anything went wrong, they would take care of it. It was my understanding. I didn't have to worry about any repairs. They would just get fixed. Things that were like maintenance, so I would still have to pay for, like oil changes or brakes or something like that. But if you really think about it, with an average lease, it's 3 years and 36,000 miles. So what really is going to go wrong in those first 3 years anyway? It's really not enough time to get brakes done. Your tires are still good. You might just need oil changes. There was one time that I brought my car to the shop for an oil change, and while I brought it to the dealer, they did the oil change, and then they said to me, oh, well, there's a leak. There's an oil leak at the bottom. We have to fix that. And I was like thinking to myself, okay, no problem. I'm leasing this car, so go ahead and fix it. So when I went there to pick it up and pay for it, they're like, okay, it's going to be $600. And I said, wait a minute, I'm leasing this car. And they said, oh, the service center said, oh, and then they were like, okay. And then they changed the price, they fixed it. But then when I went with my daughter to buy her car, she bought a used car, and they offered her a warranty for the first 3 years. And the warranty was, if anything went wrong, they would fix it. So anything major like engine, transmission, anything like that. So she got a used car with a 3-year warranty. And if something goes wrong, they're going to fix it anyway. And her payment is cheaper. And her car is I want to say like a 2020. It's not that old, It's still 2020s, even though it's already 2026, I know. And then I'm thinking, okay, so my lease was a 2024. I got that in fall of 2023, but it was a 2024. And my first 3 years of having it, if something goes wrong, I don't have to fix it either. But really, what's the difference between leasing and having the 3-year warranty that you pay a little extra for? Now, her payment is pretty much half my payment, but my car is newer. So, excuse me, chances are that I won't have as much wrong with my car and I won't need a repair. So I'm not really sure. It's like you try to be wise with your money and you try not to waste it, but you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not sure if you are, because it seems like you're shelling out more every month anyway. And I always seem to see on TV, commercials that say, oh, lease the car, $300 a month, $249 a month. But I never got into a lease like that. Why is my lease $600? I think about this stuff and I'm like, my credit's not bad. So I don't know. I think that when I go back in October to bring my car back, and I think I'm just going to say, if I turned it in and I got another car, another lease, what would that payment be? And I'm also going to say, okay, so if I take this car and I turn it into a loan, what would my payment be there? It's got to be lower than $600. I can't, unless that's the average car payment price nowadays, that could very well be. In my head, I keep thinking car payments should be like 300 and something, like 350 to 400 maybe at the most. But a lot of people that I talk to, they're paying like $600 is like the average cost for a car payment. So I just don't want to deal with that anymore. I don't want to have that large payment. I'm hoping that I could cut it in half and then I could save the rest of that money and put it away. So that's what I want to do. So I'm just curious out there if what, everybody else has gone through, if they've leased a car and they're happy with it, or they've leased a car and they said, no way, never again, not for me. Because some people that I talk to, that's all they do is lease. They're like, no, I want a brand new car every 3 years. That's what I want. So you pay for it. Other people are like, no, I just want to pay it off and keep it until it dies and not have a payment as long as I can. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of weighing my options and seeing, just what my choices are going to be. So I really would value your opinion on what your experience has been with leasing a car versus owning a car. And yeah, also too, I'd love to know what your car payment is if you have one. So I guess I won't feel too bad about myself and that I got hosed. So anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments, leasing versus owning and what you prefer. And yeah, I'm curious. And that's all. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.